your side.
Hello there everyone. I've been working on this photo manipulated edit for a while now. Like originally my plan was that I was going to just simply draw it however way I can, or possibly try and digital paint it, but it's like for a while I've gone into editing, photo manipulation, and I've always been interested in it and I've always wanted to do it. So that's why I thought I could start this on Procreate, as you can see, because I felt like the last one I've done was quite successful, so I thought maybe I could try another one and be a bit more ambitious this time around. Like the last one I did was the Captain Carter one. I'll just quickly insert it here just so you can see. From the What If series. Last year when Marvel announced the whole What If series for Disney Plus, like that was the series that really interested me of all the Disney Plus shows. And I thought, what if this actually led to a movie or her appearing in one of the multiverse movies, like Doctor Strange or Spider-Man, or I don't know, even during the Investor Day trailers, like it's because it's animated, it's so interesting to me, like the possibilities of what they can do, and I can't wait to see it. So I'm excited for like WandaVision and Loki and Falcon and the Winter Soldier and the possibilities of the X-Men Easter eggs they could place in those. But What If series has my interest most. But anyway, getting back to this drawing that I'm doing, I'm trying to recreate the Alex Ross Collectors Edition of Mortal Kombat versus the DC Universe. I'm very excited for the Mortal Kombat movie, and as you've seen before, I started off with Procreate, but Procreate time-lapse is like one of the best since it's all on one file. There's no zooming in and zooming out. You can just see the whole thing as it's coming together. The restriction of layers, the amount of layers I can have in one particular drawing, especially this one, I was like, okay, I have to move to Photoshop right now. I can't possibly continue with this. What do I take off? What do I merge together? And it's like, it's going to create too much hassle for later down on the line. Started working on Photoshop quickly, and I just thought a bit of digital painting to get certain stuff and trying to manipulate other parts to create the certain poses and angles that Alex Ross had in his image. Obviously it's never going to be as good as Alex Ross's, because that's like, he's a completely another level. I learned quite a lot of things as I was working on this, like certain stuff I did not know, the certain stuff I experimented and I finally got to use, like linear dodge and color dodge and all this. I've never really used it as much. Whenever I'm drawing, it's very simple, straight, start to finish drawings, like I know what I'm doing. But because this is I've gone back to photo manipulating, and it's a learning process, so bear with me guys as I'm trying to get this one poster sort of done. Obviously I'm waiting for the revelation of what the 2021 Mortal Kombat reboot characters would look like. So I thought, what, before, because this one particular side, one side of characters took me like 8 hours over a span of 2 weeks. Like my first hour was on Procreate, and then the rest of the 7 hours was on Photoshop. But as I was saying, let me get this DC side done at least, so I would learn and understand what I'm doing. So when the Mortal Kombat characters first looks or the trailers are released, I can hopefully quickly get them done. As I was saying, there was a lot of learning. It's like the certain characters like Wonder Woman and Superman, I kept changing them too, because I wasn't happy with the images that I was using. So there was a lot of back and forth between those two, because I just couldn't get them right, as well as match them up to Alex Ross's poses. And then there was the fact that I sort of got certain parts right in the previous edit. So I was like, okay, I have to chop up and put them together. But yes, I'm really excited for the movie. Plus, it's like, I loved the Mortal Kombat versus DC Universe game. Like, I know a lot of people didn't like it because it wasn't as bloody or, brutal as we expect Mortal Kombat to be, because it's also the DC characters. There was a certain restriction of how brutal the game can be. But me personally, I loved it. I remember playing it with my cousins continuously. Whenever, we all got together, it's like, I was Shazam, well, Captain Marvel. Continuously, he was my main guy, as well as Superman, obviously. But it's like we'd play the whole winner stays on. And obviously they were better than me, they'd beat me, I'd have to get off, pass the controller on to someone else. But yes, I remember loving it. I love the story as well, the whole merging of the two realities, and then eventually you see Dark Khan and all this, like the rage that's affecting all the characters. I still remember Captain Marvel's voice actor saying something like,
The rage! The rage!
And how Raiden would talk about it, how Raiden was being affected, the fact that Superman was kicked by Scorpion, and Superman's
magic, sorcery.
Plus, that's the game that gave us recent NetherRealm games, Injustice 2, especially like Mortal Kombat 9, Mortal Kombat 10, and even the recent Mortal Kombat 11. Honestly, I wouldn't mind if NetherRealm Studios was to go back and remaster Mortal Kombat vs DC Universe, especially with the graphics we have now and what they are capable of doing. I think it would look amazing. Heck, if they want to create a sequel to that, I'm all for it, especially if they want to use the current characters, and possibly for Injustice 3 or spin-off, maybe Injustice 3 is where the Mortal Kombat universe meets the DC universe again. Plus, they don't really have to play it as safe anymore, since you know where the story of Injustice is. They can make it as brutal as they want to, or you know, don't go as brutal, because it's the DC universe characters and they want to, you know, they have to keep the studios happy, and the studios probably has restrictions of what the DC characters can do or how much damage they can take. So yeah, but like I was saying, I'd love it if we got a sequel to this game, or you know, possible remaster. It'd be like phenomenal to see that. But then, like, hey, if that doesn't happen, maybe I could try and take the Injustice model and the Mortal Kombat 11 models, search for them online, and possibly, you know, create the poster again. But and this time around, I get to learn a bit of rendering on Blender, and you maybe learn how to use Blender as well. And I hope we get to see a Mortal Kombat 2021 trailer pretty soon, since they've moved the date to April. Like, we officially know the date is April 2021. Apparently the original date was January 15, but I'm really looking forward to that movie. I can't wait to see what the characters look like in that movie, and I'm kind of a bit annoyed they haven't really shown us anything, and I hope they show us something soon. But it's finished. Let me know what you think. If you've liked what you've seen, comment below, like and subscribe, and hey, thank you for watching, guys. Like, the only reason I'm uploading this part of the edit is because it's sort of taking up memory space on my hard drive, and I'm thought, okay, clearly there's a possibility I could lose the whole, even though I have certain parts backed up. But maybe possibly it'd be a good idea to just have it like a part 1, and then I could do the whole to be continued thing.